There's so many people that just get in that pattern of, oh, I'm so lonely. Oh, I hate this life. Or this is just miserable. Or I need a partner because I'm sick of being alone. It's like, well, you're getting a partner for the wrong reason. It's about finding the positives in the situation, learning what you can from your past breakup, and just self-reflecting, taking the time to look at you and growing as a person to be the best version of you.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Beauty in You podcast. I'm so excited for our guests today as we're going to be talking about rediscovering strength and thriving as a single parent. Our guest today is dedicated to mentoring and coaching single parents, including divorced, stepped, and re-partner parents. She understands the endless challenging single parents face, such as co-parenting, financial hardship, loneliness, dating, and blended families. She is also the creator of Life After Plus One. Welcome to the Beauty in You podcast, Leanne Hutchinson. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for you to share your journey. I'm so excited to you just to inspire our listeners with your story. So with that
Yes.
being stated, kind of walk me through what led you to being the awesome mentor you are today.
Oh, thank you. Well, I guess it started from my own life experience, which is how most of us get into this, right? Like from our own experience and our own background. So I left my daughter's father in a very unhealthy way. It wasn't a nice breakup at all. And unfortunately, when I went through that, I had nobody around. I had no support. My mum was actually overseas on a holiday at the time. My dad was, I think he was away as well. And I was just alone. And my sister, she doesn't live in the same area as me. And I was lost. I was alone. And, when you're going through a breakup, your emotions are running high. You're just stressed, you're confused, you're angry, you're going through everything. So in between all that, I've also had some coaching and counseling education. And so have previously run another business prior to what I'm doing now with Life After Plus One. And I just got to the point where it just wasn't fulfilling me the way I wanted it to. And something inside of me always wanted to get out there and help single parents who have been through that journey like I have and just haven't had support or don't know how to handle it on their own. And that's where Life After Plus One came about.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy how we go through those stressful situations and those extreme
Yep.
situations, but out of that comes something good or can be
100%.
something good. So I think that's something I like to always stress is like, I know it's hard and I know, like I say, life be lifing because it's like the most unexpected things happen and you just feel terrible, but then something beautiful can come out of it.
Yep. Yep. And that's the whole point. You need to learn something from these bad experiences because they're all teaching us something in some way.
Absolutely. So your split wasn't the best. It was unhealthy. What about those moms that may have gone through something similar to that? What advice can you get them on actually how to stay strong and get
Yep.
through that situation?
The biggest thing I try and help parents with who are going through this is to take control of your emotions because it's so easy when you're in that moment. You're just focused on the breakup. You're focused on the relationship ending. You're not focused on being, and I don't want to say this in a rude way, but you're not focused on being the best parent because you're so hurt and upset because of the breakup. So it's really hard to take control of those emotions and put the needs of the kids first when you're just heartbroken and you're like, no, well, they hurt me, they upset me. So it's about trying to understand, as hard as it is, that relationship is now ended and you've got to learn to separate that and put those emotions to the side and focus on, okay, what's best here for the kids? And you've got to put someone else first when you're just needing to put yourself first. So it's hard, it's a tricky situation, but it's really about trying to separate those breakup emotions from actually being a parent, because when you're separated from that person, that's all they are to you now. You're co-parent.
That co-parenting, I hear that a lot. Like we have to co-parent, we have to co-parent, but that's not always the easiest thing either. How do you set those boundaries for co-parenting? especially when you're angry at the partner, but you don't want to push them away from the father, but you're still mad, but you know they got to see the
Yeah.
dad. How do you do
It's
that?
funny. I was actually just working with someone this week, and I've been helping her write text messages to her ex because she's getting too worked up and too upset. She's like, I need you to help me write this. I don't know what to say.
Mhm.
And you've just got to learn to just communicate with only what's essential. Like, don't interact with random chit chat that's not necessary about your co-parenting arrangement. Don't get involved in stuff when they're telling you about the way you dress or telling you about what you do with your money, or they're commenting on things that just are not relevant. You've got to learn to shut it out. Don't get fazed by that. Don't let it trigger you, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to trigger you. You've just got to go, okay, not my business. I don't care anymore. All I care about is my kids and how this is going to work. So it's just about trying to disengage from any random chit chat that's going to upset you. I mean, some people do have amicable breakups and they're able to get along, which is great. They don't have these issues. But if it's not like that and it is a toxic breakup, then you've just got to shut out all the noise and just focus on conversation that's about the kids, and that's it. I even personally went to a period where I even blocked my ex because he was very narcissistic behaved, and he would always message me about things that just weren't related to parenting.
Mhm.
So I went to a period where I blocked him when my daughter wasn't going there. And then when it was time for her to go back there, I'd unblock his number because I knew he'd reach out asking, to sort out, pick up and drop off. And then when my daughter was at her dad's, I'd unblock and then block him again when she was back. So, I mean, some people may disagree with that, but there was no other need for me to contact him in that off period. And that has worked fine for me now. And my daughter's now at an age where she can also communicate with him. So there's less of me being involved, which also helps as well.
No, I think that's awesome, because what you did was, no, it may not be ideal for everybody, but still you found something
No.
that worked for you and your current
Yes.
situation. And I would advise, our listeners, like, do what's going to work best in a healthy way for
Yep.
you and your co-parent. That way
Yep.
you guys don't have to communicate all the time. Like you said, only when it
And
has to
that's
do
just
with your
it.
child.
Yeah, and that's just it. Some people get messages from their ex, or they may see them and they feel the need that they've got to respond all the time. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. They don't have to know what's going on in your life or what you're doing. You just need to be in contact for your kids, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Disengage yourself as much as possible from them.
Yeah, I would say, like, we are in control of our peace, and that's something that you
Yeah.
can, have control over, that peace part. And again, setting those healthy boundaries that's going to allow
Yes.
your child to still see, their co-parent, their parent, and then allow you to still, heal, because you are essentially still on your healing journey. Even though life continues, you're still on your healing journey.
Yeah. And you can't be at peace when you're constantly checking your phone, seeing these messages from them. You've got to shut it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cut out the noise. Yeah.
Yes, cut out the noise. You can do that. Cut out the noise. I want to
Yes.
talk about your own discovery journey, because I can only imagine, when you are married, you're just one. They say you become one, and then you split, and it's like,
Yep.
who am I? How did you
Yeah.
navigate discovering who you were again?
I mean, that's the hard thing. And that is such a common thing. Like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what to do, because especially when you've got people that have just been housewives, which I don't want to use that term, but it's not so common these days. But you get people that are like that and they leave and they're like, what do I do? I've got to get a job. And you've got to find your identity again. And for me, I've always had a passion about having a job that I could work around my daughter. And that's when I started my last business. So when I broke up from him, I actually wasn't married to my daughter's father. We were together for quite some time, but we never got married. But I had been married previously prior to that, a few years back. But he always drummed in. I always had a passion for starting my own business, my own party and events business. And he's always like, no, it's not going to work. But then when I broke up with him, I'm like, I've got to do something. I need to get an income. And that's when I built my business in the party and event industry. And I built that all on my own, because that was something that I was passionate about prior to becoming a mum. I'd always worked in that industry in hospitality and events. And so one day I decided, I just built a business with zero financial backing. I had no money behind me because I left him with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I just start buying new products that I could use in the business. And whenever I got a booking and made money, it just went straight back into the business. And to find yourself again, you've just got to find things that you enjoy doing. Find your spark again. Whether it's going to the gym, just going for a morning walk, it's self-care, looking after you. And eventually you'll find what really lights you up. So sometimes it takes trying a few different things. Some people don't like the gym. Some people love the gym. So it just trying a few things and see what you really enjoy doing and stick with it. Keep going with that self-care and keep going with looking after you, because you are important. And people forget that when you're a single parent. They're like, well, I've got to look after the kids. If I look after me, who's going to look after them? But if no one's looking after you, then who's going to look after you? That's your job. You've got to look after you.
Exactly. I think that self-care is so important. You have to look out for you, because you're right now, you have this little person that is depending on you now. And so you have to find the time to invest in yourself, to love yourself, and discover who you are. And I love that you said like the stuff that you like to do that re-spark that, because I always say keep it simple, like take it back to the basics. It doesn't have to be so complicated. What did you like to do prior before your life became chaotic? What did you like to do? It's there. Go back to the simple stuff.
It could just be reading a book, anything. Just keep it simple. Just find what you enjoy doing.
Yes, keep it simple.
Some people may be going out and studying again, doing another degree, finding another job in an industry that they feel more passionate about. Just follow your heart, follow what lights you up.
I think as women, it's so important to understand that we do have choices, and that even though our plans may not always work out, sometimes we do feel stuck, but we're not stuck. Like we can do all the things. We can do all the things if we just believe in ourselves, keep it simple, and trust our instincts. I think that's so important to do, because we don't know what we would like to guess, like, you know, that tomorrow's going to be great, but we don't know. And so keep it simple, trust yourself, know that no matter what happens, you will be okay. It's not going to be easy all the time, but you have the ability to absolutely get through it.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing there that you're saying with that is the self-doubt. It's a self-doubt that holds so many people back. Oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Give it a go.
Give it a go. That mindset part, because you only see your life a certain way. And then when dramatic changes happen, you're like, okay, I didn't think this could ever be me. I know for myself and my healing journey, I thought that it would never be me. Like I would never go through that. Not me. No, everyone else can go through all the craziness and the drama, but that would never be me until it happened to me. And I'm like, okay, I guess it could happen.
What do I do now?
What do I do? What now? I have to start from the basics. I had to seek therapy. I was really lost. I didn't know what to do. I had to literally bring it back and sit on someone's couch and really talk through it, because I had no idea. I felt like I had lost all control of everything.
Yeah, it's like you're literally starting your life again.
Scary.
Yeah, but exciting.
But exciting, yes, because I wouldn't be here now talking to you.
Exactly. And the best part about it is you create your life. You're doing it how you want. And when you're in a relationship, and not all relationships are like this, but when you're in a relationship that's not healthy and you're not given the freedom to do what you want, you're constantly tied down. But when you're out on your own, as scary as it can be, you now have control of your life. You can do what you want. If you want to go on a holiday next weekend, go. If you want to start a course or start a new job, do it. Nobody's stopping you from doing anything besides yourself up here.
Oh my gosh, you're awesome. I love hearing your story, because like I said, I love the strength in you and your abilities and what you've gone through, and how, again, you've taken that and you've created this whole, well, first of all, selling the business is scary too. Like you really are doing it, I would say, doing it scared. And I believe that that is the only way for us to grow. What advice would you give that single parent out there that is afraid to do it scared? I mean, essentially they are making it somehow.
It's always a scary move, 100%. And I remember when I first started my first business, when I first went into that 100%, because I had a part-time job for a while, just so because being on my own, you needed that guaranteed income. And then I went to a period, I think it was just after COVID, where I went, no, I'm doing this 100%. and I made it work. Everyone doubted me, like, oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm like, I'm doing it. And you've got to. And I look at my daughter every day and it's like, I want a better life for her. I want to give her a nice life. And that's what drives me. Like, I left her dad with nothing but a suitcase of clothes and no money. And I've made it work. And it was quite scary at times. There was times when, like, I have no idea where I'm going to sleep. I have no idea what I'm going to do. There were times when I was just living off tinned baked beans. I don't know if you call it that there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fun. But you can't sit there and just live in that and be miserable and stay there. You've got to go, okay, this is where I'm at now. What can I do to get out of this? What can I do to make this situation better? And that's the thing. A lot of people just think they can't make it better, so they just give up. But I refuse to for my daughter. I want to give her a better life. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to better this situation? Yeah. And that's what you've got to keep your focus on. There's always a way to improve your life. There's always a way to improve your current situation. You've just got to take the blinkers off and look outside the square.
Got it. Definitely. Yeah. I was going to say, think outside the box. You definitely have to do that, because if you don't, you will be stuck, and you have to be creative, like find creative ways to get it done, because it can be done. Block out the noise. I wanted to ask you, how are you able to block out the noise, the negative thoughts, not from other people, not necessarily even from yourself, but how are you able to block the noise from other people?
I think from going through what I've been through, like, I know I've been through multiple rock bottoms, and I've been to a point where it's like, I don't think I can go lower than what I've been. And I'm at a place now, it's like, I don't rely on other people's opinions to get me through life, because if I did, I'd probably be still at my rock bottom. They're not in a rude way, they're not paying my bills. I need to worry about me and my daughter. And I think that's one thing that's made me quite tough on the exterior in a way. Like, I need to focus on what's best for me and what's best for my daughter. And, you know, it's easy to kind of worry, oh, but what if they think this, or what if they think that? But what if it all goes well? Yeah. What if it all works out? But that's the biggest thing I've learned, just to put on that shield. And, you know, it's okay to care what people think, but you can't let it control your life. You can't let it control you. You've got to go, okay, this is what I want to do. And if people don't like it, then that's their choice. That's okay. But I'm going to give this a go.
I agree.
So, yeah, you've got to, like I was just saying, shut up that outside noise and just focus on what you want to do. And it's hard. There are people out there that probably aren't as confident in themselves to do that. And, you know, because I feel like what I've been through has made me a lot more confident, has made me a lot stronger. And for me, I'm just like, no, I'm doing it. But I know there's a lot of people out there that probably haven't got that level of confidence yet and aren't ready to take that big jump. And that's okay. You can't change that overnight. Just take those small baby steps to get there. And that's what I always say in my podcast. Just small little things each day make the big difference. And that's what you got to focus on.
Yes. Little by little, consistency. Consistency doesn't have to be a whole lot at one time. It's just as long as you're working toward that goal. And also, I would say creating realistic goals. Like, be 100%. Honest in your situation and be honest with where you truly are. Yes, we want it all. We want to, I call it the light era. We want to live in our light era, right? We want to be fully functioning, but we may not be there yet. That's okay. We have to work towards it little by little, be honest to your true starting point, and make realistic timelines for you and your current situations. Stop scrolling Instagram. Stop looking on Facebook. Stop reading everyone else's pretty stuff.
Stop comparing yourself.
Yeah. Focus on you, little baby steps, and it can be done.
And the big thing to remember, what you just said about social media, no one's posting the bad stuff about their life on social media. Nobody is posting that. So don't sit there and go, oh my gosh, they've got a perfect life. I wish I had their life. They're doing this, they're doing that. You don't know what happens off social media. Nobody sees that side. So stay in your lane and just focus on where you've come from and where you are now and where you want to go. So look at the progress you've made. Look at where you've come from, and you look back as where you were maybe 12 months ago, 24 months ago, go, wow, yeah, I've made huge progress. I've actually got money in my bank account. With this time last year, I didn't. Anything. And then now, maybe 12 months down the track, you would have even more. You're even further ahead. So it's just taking progress on your life. That's what it's about.
Yep. And keep track. I say journaling, write it down. Like try journaling or some type of journal, something that you have. I'm like very physical. Like I have to be able to see it. I need to look at it to see like, okay, I did do that. Okay. I am doing okay. I'm not doing as bad as I thought. Or when I get certain questions, I'm like, wait, they asked me that? Okay, I'm not doing as bad as I thought, because we all have those thoughts that come through. But being able to really physically look at where you were and where you've come from, I think that plays a big part on your confidence and also like on your mental, like, okay, I got this.
It does. I've got a journal right here next to me. You probably can't see because of the filter, but I've always got a journal here with me, and I write my lists, and that's something, son, you cross it off, and it feels really good when you can say, yep, I've done it. Next, what can I add to the list? And that's what helps you keep going, knowing that, okay, I've done it. I can do more now.
Yes. I don't know what it is about the cross off, like or the check mark that just feels so good.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? It's like, I've done that.
I did that. Yes. I'm so proud of myself. You know?
And you might even go back and look at something you wrote about a year ago, and it's like, oh, I didn't think I would have ever done that. But I did.
I did. Okay. I was really going through. That was me. Okay. Oh, well, I'm happy I'm not there anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
So talk to me about your podcast. I want to know more about your podcast.
Okay. So the podcast talks pretty much about anything that's related to single parenting. There's quite a few episodes on dating, which always seem to be quite popular. Loneliness is another big topic in the single parent world. How do you manage being lonely? What do you do moving forward? And letting go of your ex, that's another one. You hear that a lot, people just struggling to let go of their ex, to move, to separate yourself. So I talk about anything and everything that's related to being a single parent. Even when you're managing stepkids, you're with a partner and they've got kids and you're struggling with that step parent role. So anything that's related to being a single parent, I discuss.
That's very much needed, that realness in it. Like,
and I do. I keep it very real. Yep. And it's open for the dads too. There's a lot of podcasts like this that are just for the mums or just for the dads. So this is open to everyone, mums and dads.
Oh, I like that. Okay, fellas, if you're listening, it's open to you too. So I do like that, because mine is strictly for the women right now. And I get that like, are you gonna
and that's great.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know yet.
No, keep your niche, keep it. But I just thought this was a great little market. There isn't many that cater to both mums and dads. It's usually just one or the other. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep it open for everyone.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Is your podcast weekly?
Yes, it is. Weekly? It is. I started doing it twice a week at the start, and then just single mum life and everything else. It was just too much. So I've cut back to one a week. So it comes out every Tuesday, which is 6 a.m. Australian time. So I'm not too sure what it is there, but it comes out once a week. Yes.
So that would be like
Monday night.
Monday. Yeah. It's so hard to keep track.
Yes.
Yes, listeners. So listen, that is a podcast. That is a resource for you to get real life. I love real and authentic stories and just the truth, because it's important. It's important that we talk about the good times, but the tough times, to just show that human side of us. And so I love that you're doing that, and that you have a platform dedicated to both parents that are talking about real life issues that happen. Like, co-parenting, I hear it a lot. Co-parenting. We want to be the best co-parent. We're going through this. We're going through loneliness. So it's great to have a place where they can listen to other people that's gone through this and get that real advice.
Yep. And the thing is, what I talk about as well is I'm focused heavily on kind of what we've just been talking about, reframing your thinking to find the positives in it. There's so many people that just get in that pattern of, oh, I'm so lonely. Oh, I hate this life. Or this is just miserable. Or I need a partner because I'm sick of being alone. It's like, well, you're getting a partner for the wrong reason. It's about finding the positives in the situation, learning what you can from your past breakup, and just self-reflecting, taking the time to look at you and growing as a person to be the best version of you. And I talk heavily on that, about just finding the good in it. And I'm not about discouraging people from moving on and dating again. I'm all about finding the positive in it to be the best you. So when you go out and date again, you're a better version of yourself. You're going to be a better partner than what you were in the last relationship, because you've taken time to self-reflect and going, okay, I shouldn't have done that last time. Maybe next time when I meet someone, I won't handle things that way. So it's all about finding the positives and enjoying the journey of being a single parent.
And that part, enjoying the journey, wherever you are in your current journey, I think is a beautiful thing as well. Like, enjoy it. I know we want to hurry and push, but
Yes.
enjoy it because it happens fast.
Yes.
And before you know it, you're like, what in the world? What just happened?
Yes. Or before you know, you'll be with another partner. You'll be like, oh, okay, they want me to do this. They want me to, I want some time to myself. It's like, well, you had the time to yourself and you didn't utilize it. You didn't make the most of it. This is about enjoying it. Go live your life and have control over your life. Do what you can to just be a better you, and then move on and meet someone new.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You have been amazing today. And I truly, truly appreciate you sharing your journey with myself and my listeners. Can you let us know where we can find you?
Yes, of course. So I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. There is a support group on Facebook, which is called the Life After Plus One support group, but also on the other ones, it's just Life After Plus One. I've got my website, which has got all my coaching. There's ebooks available and my podcast. And obviously, like we just discussed earlier, there's a podcast, which is called Life After Plus One.
Yeah. So I will make sure that everything she just said is listed in the show notes. So you can just click and get the support that you need. Like I said, you've been amazing. And I am so happy that I had you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. And guys, remember, love your journey as a single parent. Find the good in it.
Yes, find the good in it. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe. And if you're streaming it, wherever you stream your podcast, make sure you leave that review. All right, you guys, until next time.